Hello everyone, this is Miss Cat and I'm here with my rabbit Pope. He's not eating breakfast yet because for this video we're gonna make him some breakfast. But first I wanted to talk about those plants that we grew in the last video. So these were the romaine I had put in the water before I started the video, and they're getting much taller than they were before. So they're growing pretty quickly, and they also have got some roots growing. So there we go. They're growing some roots, they're getting taller. The one we put in the water, it is growing. He's got a little leaf there, but he's not growing like the other plants. I don't know why. So hopefully he'll get taller, but right now he's just got that little, he's got a couple little leaves growing out of there. And then I also put the garlic in. So you can see the garlic has more leaves. And he's also got a lot of roots growing. Look at all those roots. I just want to see, the rabbits don't eat garlic, but I want to see what happens with him. So we're going to move, I'm going to get some stuff set up here and I'll be right back. All right, so I have a bunch of vegetables here that rabbits like to eat and humans like to eat. And I'm going to show you how we can take some of the parts that humans don't like to eat, like this part of the carrot. We don't like to eat, so we usually cut this off and throw it away, but you can actually feed it to your rabbits instead, and that way you're not wasting any of these parts of the food that we don't like to eat. If you don't have rabbits of your own, you can bring these to, if you know of any areas near your house that have wild rabbits or domestic rabbits that are running around, you can bring these bits to the park, leave it somewhere where you know the rabbits like to hang out, and those rabbits will come and eat it. Maybe not right away, but if you leave it overnight, the next morning, I would bet that the scraps will be gone if you have a lot of rabbits around. You can also feed a lot of this stuff to ducks. Ducks actually love, or ducks eat vegetables, and it's healthier for them than crackers or popcorn or bread that a lot of people like to bring to feed to ducks. So if you have any ducks nearby, I know we don't have a ton of them here in Las Vegas, but there are some places with ducks, and they will also eat a lot of this stuff. So I would just do your research before feeding foods to different animals, because there are things that are poisonous to animals. Like ducks shouldn't eat avocado, onion, or spinach. All of those things are bad for ducks, so you'd want to do your research. But all of this food I have here today are good for both rabbits and ducks, so if you have any of these food scraps, you can collect them and bring them and feed them to animals if you don't have them at home. So I'm going to start with a carrot. So sometimes you can buy carrots and they'll have a big leafy green part up here, but a lot of times they'll cut it off, so they'll just have this leftover part, or this will be totally gone and it'll just be the top of the carrot. But we usually cut that off before we eat the carrot, so I'm going to cut it off right here. If you're young, you might want to have your parents do this for you if you're not allowed to use knives yet. But there you go. So we have the top of the carrot here. So I'm going to keep that because that's the part that we don't eat, but rabbits definitely will eat. They love that. And just like I said in the previous videos, rabbits love carrots, but it is like a dessert, so they only should eat a little bit. So this is perfect because that's just a little bit for them, and then I'll eat the rest of the carrot. So here's some celery. Now we don't eat the bottom of the celery at all. That's the part that grows, that comes the root, so we usually cut this off. But we also don't like the leaves usually. We usually don't eat the leaves. And the rabbits actually love the leaves. It's their favorite part. So if I were making celery, I'd probably cut it off here. So this is the part I would eat. And then this is the part the buns love to eat. It's actually their favorite part, the celery. So that's awesome. So they'll eat that. Now we have, this is a type of lettuce here. They love this lettuce, but we don't eat this part. We don't like this part. So we usually cut it off like this. And so you could grow this part, just like with romaine. You could put this is the part where the roots grow out of, so you could put it in water and it would start to grow. But the rabbits also love to eat this. So if you're not gonna cook, or if you're not gonna grow it, and you're not gonna eat it, then set it aside for the rabbits or ducks, if that's what you're feeding. Here's some green beans. So usually in the green beans, we don't like this end part, this little pokey end part. It's kind of tough, we don't like to eat it. So I'm gonna line up these green beans. I'm gonna cut off these ends. And once again, I'm gonna save all these end parts for the buns, for the rabbits. I call my rabbits buns a lot, short for bunnies. So there we go. We'll put that all on this pile for the rabbits. And then also if you have something like, so this green bean has like this brown spot on it. So I might not want to eat that. That would be good for the rabbits too. You don't want to feed them any food that's rotten. They probably won't eat it actually. I've had some foods that were kind of had little rotten edges and they won't eat it. So that's not good for them. But if you have foods that are just have some little problems like this, a little brown or something that you don't want to eat, but it's not totally bad, then the rabbits would like that too. So I'm going to put that in the rabbit pile. Here we have some Brussels sprouts. So usually with Brussels sprouts, we cut off the end part, this brown part. We don't like to eat it, it's too hard. So we cut off that, and then we also usually take out some of these outside leaves. So we have a Brussels sprout I can eat. And all of this goes to the rabbits. They love when I make Brussels sprouts because there's lots of leftovers. And then last I have here is cilantro. So when I make things with cilantro, I usually take off just the leafy part, like here. I'll take off those parts. And then this stem, I don't want to eat. So the rabbits love this, and I don't have to cut it up or anything. There we go. I'll put that over here. So here's all of my leftover scraps for my rabbits. So like this piece of cilantro, it's kind of beat up a little bit, it's brown. So I might not want to eat this piece, but the rabbits will be happy with it as long as it's not rotten. Any of these little dried leaves, they love dried leaves. They'll eat them if they're dry, just not if they're rotten. Okay, so I got my little pile of leftovers here, these little scraps. So normally if I was cooking, I would throw this away. But with rabbits, I can feed it with my rabbits. And again, if you don't have rabbits, you can bring it to a local park, feed it to ducks. There's all like goats, pigs, if you know any of those around, those all will eat these scraps. So a lot of different animals will eat these. You just gotta kind of try it out and see if they'll eat them. So we're gonna go outside and feed these to the rabbits for breakfast. So I'll be right back. My camera battery died while I was in the middle of showing you guys eating them scraps. So I brought some more scraps out. So like I said, you should do research before feeding any animals, any food items that you're not sure about, because things like when I looked up what ducks could eat, it said that ducks can't eat spinach, and I didn't know that. So I would have said spinach is pretty safe to feed animals, but apparently ducks can eat spinach. So you do need to be kind of careful before you feed animals food that you don't know if it's safe for them to eat. So all you have to do is go to Google or another search engine and type in something like, can ducks eat, and then put whatever food you would like to feed them, or can rabbits eat, carrots, for example, and then you'll get some results that'll say whether or not ducks or rabbits or whatever animal you're feeding different foods can eat that food. So that's just to make sure that you keep all the animals healthy and safe, and you're not feeding them something that they shouldn't be eating, because there are a lot of unusual foods that different animals can't eat. So that is it for today. I hope you guys are all doing well. I'm putting up some new videos of the rabbits just eating different foods. So if you're interested in just watching them eat for a while, there's Pope. I put up a video of them eating some celery, and it's really crunchy and kind of relaxing to watch. So you can watch that, and I hope to see you guys soon.